So you didn't need
Okay, you
to
said that
fish, huh?
you didn't fish after the or after the Americans came back. Why?
Well, we buy our fish at the commissary.
Oh, so you stopped fishing?
Yeah, stopped fishing completely.
Hmm.
So, but I remember my dad and I used to go out the breakwater where it goes down with thousands of feet. You know,
Mariana
the
Trench.
Mariana Trench is the deepest part of the
That's right.
ocean.
Yeah.
But we're far away from the trench, but this is an extension to
Yeah.
the trench. And they're deep, you can. And my dad and I used to go out there and dave down on the breakwater deal and swim there. We see a sea turtle. We'll hang on to it and the turtle goes all over. And that's how, we
Would you catch turtles and eat them?
oh yeah, they catch turtle. We don't catch them, but people catch them. And they eat them, and if you have a bad, some sort of a disease and everything, they cut the turtle's neck, catch the blood, and they drink it raw. And it cure them. I know that's a wife's tale, but it's the truth. And,
So what other things they used to eat that was indigenous to the island? Like you talked about the fruit bats, and there aren't any there anymore. But
oh yeah,
Just the
well, they
snakes.
still got them. They
Okay.
don't have any snake in Guam at that time.
no,
They
nowadays there's.
Oh
not.
yeah, they do. I don't know what
Oh.
they eat the snake, but the snake came. I wasn't there when the snake came in, but the snake was brought in by those ships. The Korean ship, Japanese ship, Filipino ships, and came in, and they brought the
But you
snake.
used to. Did you eat bat? The fruit bat?
No. I was, like I said, I was spoiled, rich kid in Guam. I mean, we were pretty rich, and we eat the fish, we eat beef and pork. But for example, my dad's got a herd. Mom and dad raised a herd of goats. I mean, probably got 500 goats
Wow.
in Guam. And I'll never forget my uncle who was bragging, says, I will never eat goat meat and we don't eat lamb either. I don't like lamb. And so we eat beef and pork and fish and chicken, because my grandfather had a chicken farm. But I remember my uncle came to dinner with his family.
What's his name?
I don't know what their family. All I know is he was bragging that he will never eat goat. That's for the poor people. Not eat goat and everything. And my mom had goat steaks and all that. The way she could cook it, boy, beautifully. And we had dinner and everything. And after dinner, he was saying at the dinner table, he'll never eat goat meat. Are you awake, Mom?
Yes, probably.
And all that. So after we ate and they cleared the table and everything, my mom, I'll never forget this because we started laughing like hell. My mom says, bah! Bah! Like that, And my uncle, my dad knew what was going on. But my uncle said, what the hell are you doing, Barbara? Mom says, bah! Bah! Yeah, well, you've been telling us while you're eating that you wouldn't eat goat because that's for poor people and they don't taste good. My mom says, you just feast on a lot of goat meat and you said it was the best meat you ever tasted.
So your mom had a sense of humor too, huh?
Oh, yeah. She and I are good buddies. Remember we were walking during the Japanese time, we walked to church, which is in the town of Agate, and we were living at where my grandfather's farm is. And we bought, no, we didn't buy it, but he gave us a piece of property to build, like an A-frame house and Jesse built it by himself. And we lived maybe a half a mile up the hill from my grandfather. And my grandfather put a condition about us having that piece of property. is that the condition is that Manuel, that's me, Manuel, or Lito, they call me Lito.
Lito?
Lito, Lito.
Why?
I don't know. But they call me Lito. Everybody calls me Lito except my gang, you know, but the family. And they call me Manuelito or Lito.
Okay.
And so with this condition, that Manuelito or Lito come down once a week and make salt for us.
We'll make what?
Salt, you know, salt.
You make it?
Yeah.
You don't make salt. You
Oh,
dig it
well,
out of the ground.
I'll tell you how.
Okay.
Anyway, I'll go down because it's close to the ocean, to the, you know, go down with buckets and make a dozen trips and fill up this barrel full of seawater.
Seawater. Yeah, okay.
And get this big stove. It's not square. It's like this kind of stove. What do you call that?
A kettle?
No, it's not a
Pot
kettle.
belly.
A still?
No, it's built like this. This is the bottom, right, and it goes up like this, all around.
A kettle? A cauldron?
Well, I don't know what you call it, but anyway, it's a big one, like that.
Stew pot?
And I'll fill that up with the salt water, then go out and fill the container again, and this big fire under it,
Yeah.
and you'll boil that water for 24 hours. Then I keep on filling out with water until all the water, the salt water, is gone, and there's a bunch of salt in the bottom. Pieces. It's not fine salt, but you know the salt like they put on ice and all that.
Like rock salt?
Yeah, rock salt.
Yeah.
And I'll make, gosh, 4 or 5 pounds of salt every week.
Hey Dad, the battery's dying again, so I'm going to stop it right here, but I've written down all this so we can pick up from, I want to hear more stories about you and Ma, or Ma and the family, and yeah, we'll stop right there. So just hold your thoughts.
Anyway, my
The
father.
battery is so hot, I
Yeah,
think,
okay.
because I've just charged it, so it's got kind of got a short shelf life right now, so.
Anyway, that's to say this. My dad used to, he must have known people or business in the Philippines, because my dad used to order material, clothing material, for Ma, and Ma, you know, she's a perfect seamstress. She used to make all our clothes and Maria's clothes, her clothes, Filipino style, and all that, and she sells them to people come to her to make dresses and pants and everything for their family. But my dad used to order those materials every month. It comes in big bundles, and that's one thing about my father. He is a hell of a provider. The only thing is, before the Japanese came to Guam and were living in that house by the river, I remember because I used to go up to the store, and usually the Japanese married to Guamanian owned the stores in Guam, like
This was after or before the war?
before the war and even after the war. But the Okama, my mother's sister's husband,
He was a Japanese?
yeah,
So,
Okama.
one of your aunts were also married to Yamashita?
Yeah, 2 of them.
So 2 of them married Japanese?
Yeah, one is Yamashita, the other one is Okama. Anyway, they own stores, all of them. And we used to get all our groceries and meat and all that stuff. You know, that processed meat and all that from Yamashita. My mom and I would walk 10 miles to their house practically every other week and got supplies from them because Yamashita, the husband, he gets all that stuff from the Japanese.
Well, how would you carry it?
Just by hand, you know. And we just walk and try to catch a ride. But we walk that every other week.
Didn't you have donkeys or water buffalo or something to pull
we
wagons?
don't. Water
we see-
buffalo is out on the farm. This is on the.
All the movies, we see water buffalo pulling wagons and stuff.
No, and they didn't do that. That is out in the country.
Okay.
Anyway, we get supplies from them. And Tony Yamashita, he's the one that became the first president of University of Guam. He went to Carroll College to become Carroll University in Montana, and was going there for his bachelor's, his master's, and his PhD. But every winter, when school is out, he goes to Jesse in Pittsburgh and spend his winter there when he didn't want to go to Guam. But he was the first president, but he's a year older than I am. He went to seminary there too. And then he was one of the guys that was sent to the States to, and he washed out at the seminary and he went to Carroll's College. And subsequently became Carroll University in Helena, Montana. Anyway, this dog in Yamashita, especially Tony, he looked down on us because he was a Japanese through and through, you know. He was my first cousin, and he smokes a lot of cigarettes, and he wouldn't give. And my mom and dad, you know, they like to take their cigarettes and put it on their pipes and smoke it. So you know what, I didn't want to ever admit this, but my mom and dad used to send me into Agana. You know, Agana is where we live, but to the middle part of the business part, to pick up cigarette butts. I do. And I was ashamed to do it. I'll look around and everything, I see a cigarette butts, and I'll pick it up and put it in a container that I was getting. I used to pick up cigarette butts as a kid for my mom and dad so they can smoke their pipes. I used to have pounds and pounds of the cigarette butts, and they don't have any filter, you know, just cigarette butts. And it's a Japanese cigarettes. And my cousin wouldn't even give my mom and dad a pack of cigarettes. And then after the war, after he got his PhD and Jesse helping him out from spending the summer at his house, you know, in Pittsburgh, he came to San Francisco. Anyway, I was already married to your mom, and came to San Francisco, and he looked us up, and he stayed with us for a night, and he was in San Francisco for a week, touring the University of San Francisco, and he didn't come back. He thought we were too poor. We were living in a small 2-bedroom apartment, you know, we don't have